Hello and welcome back to Brains at Work, the podcast that is going to help your neurodivergent brain to succeed, especially in the heat that we're having. I was just
going to say, really in the heat. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, we're going to try. We are absolutely going to try today.
Yeah.
So our latest episode is going to be getting together for the summer holidays. We're going to kind of explain our summer series because we're going to do it a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because as you're probably all aware, Claire and I are parents and trying to record this podcast where we would have 6 children.
I was going to say it'd be 6 children.
6 children, a dog, and possibly 2 kittens is not going to work.
It's not.
So Claire, do you want to kind of talk us through what we're going to do differently?
Yeah, so we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're to keep us going over the summer holidays and hopefully help us keep a little bit of sanity as well. Me and Steph are going to record our podcasts separately. So we're going to have a summer series. So we have got, I think it's 9 episodes.
Yeah, 9 episodes. A lot shorter episodes.
Yeah, so we're thinking 5-10 minutes. You obviously won't get, we're going to do it individually, and we're going to be looking at neurodiverse myths, and then the following week a tool to support with that myth, and to kind of look at the toolkit in depth, I suppose, more than anything. So you'll be hearing us separately, but we will come back together. It's September?
Yeah, September.
Crazy. We'll come back together in September when we no longer have 6 children, dog, 2 cats.
And, there will be full sensory overload. You will see us have meltdowns. Yeah. But hopefully we will support everyone, and you can support us too, getting through the 6 weeks holidays, because we are here for you, and we hope you are here for us.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if we're going to make it.
Maybe not. You see, my kids, they get 8 weeks holidays, which is a joy. I'm not going to lie. By the time I get to September,
yes,
where I'm just about crawling through it, which is why we thought for this particular topic as well on our podcast, we really wanted to put a shout out there. You need to be checking in on your parents who are your friends who are neurodivergent and parents as well.
Yeah. Because
the school holidays are coming, and we thought we could look at what that means, the impact that has on us functioning, because amongst all of this we're working as well.
Yes, and don't forget, when neurodiverse children and neurodiverse adults are out of routine, it's going to be absolute chaos.
It's going to be chaos, yeah. So we're looking at what we can do to keep ourselves going, make sure that we've got that structure in place, and we thought that we could do that with you today as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as we always start, wins and fails.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first with your wins and fails today?
I mean, my fail, in all honesty, is the heat. Like, I know that'll be the same for everybody, but for me, the sense of overload and the heat just means my brain isn't functioning like it would do. It feels like there's so many extra things going on, but my brain feels slower as well.
Yeah.
So that has to be my biggest fail. I've moved my win. To counterbalance that is, I've moved my workspace downstairs into the kitchen next to my bifold doors, which I'm at least getting a little bit of a bright.
I was going to say, does that even work? Because the heat's just beating through and there's no breeze.
My downstairs is really cool.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah, I know. I've got that really nicely cooled, but upstairs was like sitting in an oven. It was awful. So, yeah, mine is the impact of the weather. It feels like every demand, and sometimes they're not even demands. It could just be somebody having a normal conversation with me, but it's felt like a demand.
Yeah.
It has just been too much for
pressure.
me.
Oh.
Yeah.
I suppose my fail, I don't even class it as a fail. I'm going to class it as a lesson learned, or a life lesson for my children as well. So even though we are having this absolutely beautiful weather that I'm not going to complain about because we've spent 6 months in the rain, obviously this morning we had torrential downpours.
We're saying obviously, other people might not have done.
Well, I looked at a storm calculator last night. A storm calendar, and apparently it was all Scotland and all London, full torrential storms, and then it's moved inland to the middle of the country. So
okay.
I'm guessing most people, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I managed to get my little ones in the car. They were all sorted. Did I remember to pack them a raincoat? No, I did not.
Well, they're not going to need it now anyway.
Well, it's going to get rainy again. But my eldest, this is probably the reason why I forgot to pack the little ones. My eldest, I was fighting with him. Just put a coat on. It's just a Mac. Just put a coat. Would he put it on? Absolutely not. It's not going to ruin his street cred, even though it's a flipping Adidas coat, which they all want.
Yeah.
So he stuck it in his bag, because I did wrap it up over his Chromebook, because it was torrential. I can't even describe the rain that we've got.
We've had, like, massive... It was thunder and lightning.
The roads are flooded this morning.
Yeah,
and now it is 11 o'clock in the morning. Would you have thought it had rained today?
No, not at all.
No, it's now back up to 27 degrees, glorious sunshine.
Yeah.
Aren't we enjoying the English weather? But because the eldest one threw me off and didn't wear his coat, the little ones haven't got any. But hopefully they just won't go outside.
They'll be all right.
And then my win,
yeah.
I think this is a win, because I just can't sleep in the heat. Just like you, it just sets your brain off, doesn't it? I've learned that if you close all of your windows and all of your curtains and blinds, your house stays really cool.
Is it all of your windows that you shut?
Yeah, all of your windows.
Does it actually stay cool, though?
It is cool, because my partner was whinging. He was like, it's really hot outside. He came in and he went, oh, it's really cool in here. I was like, I know. I might be living in a cave because it's so dark, and I might look awful because my curtains are closed, but my house was cool.
Yeah.
And then later on, when it did cool down a bit, I've learnt if you face your fan out of your window, it sucks any hot air of your room and pushes it outside. Apparently that's the law of physics. I'll throw that one out there. But yeah, the law of physics.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been pretty cool.
Good.
You're looking at me like that's a lie. No, I am. I really am.
No, I've not. Oh. I've not at all.
Oh, but what was your win this week?
Well, do you know what? That's a really good question. I'm not entirely sure I've had, like, any massive wins.
You've made it here in one piece.
I was going to say, I've got here in one piece. I am functioning. No, this is going to sound awful, but my husband's away again this weekend on his bike festival, and so I'm just quite looking forward to having the weekend in the house to myself.
That'll be nice.
I mean, I've still had the kids, but the girls are 14 and the eldest is 17. They don't really care about me anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just a mild inconvenience that provides food. Perfect. So I'm quite looking forward to just not doing an awful lot this weekend. So I'm going to class that as my win. Sorry, Si, again.
Oh, I love it. It's great. So, jumping into this episode then, obviously we're going to do summer holidays, because neurodivergent summer holidays hit differently. Yeah. We've got to acknowledge there's a huge invisible load, isn't there? Yeah. Our kids are all very, very different ages, so yours are coming to the end of it, whereas I'm going to call it still in the trenches, if I'm being totally honest.
Oh, yeah, I'm certainly not in the same position that you are. I wouldn't go back there either.
Yeah, so it's the what do I do? Do I book summer clubs? The lack of routine. I think this is for everybody, isn't it? If you're neurodivergent, that routine's gone. It's also the extra socialising, the heat, the food, the drink. It's the, being seen, I suppose, basically. People understanding that this is a huge... I think, personally, for me, this is the biggest mental load. Yeah. Because people are like, well, you've got your kids, blah, 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 but it's a lot of pressure. Who's going where? Who's doing what? Are they safe? Are they fed?
Exactly. And then there's that extra pressure as well to be... I know you said clubs, but obviously we're working as well. And it's making sure that they are doing things as well. They're not just sitting in the house. And for me, sitting in the house and on the screens... Our lack of routine really creates an issue in our house, a house full of autistic people. It really creates an issue. So it's having to kind of relook at that new routine for the kids. Otherwise, we're going to end up with World War III going on, if I'm completely honest. And
if I let my boys, if I let them, and they know I'm working, they will sit on their screens all day, because they know I can't come out the office to be dealing with them and kicking them off. They know within 5 minutes I'm back on doing something else, and work's got to come first. Yeah. So it's the joys, isn't it? But there's always tiny bits of chaos and, tiny bits of relief in the chaos. So what is... the most ridiculous thing you've had to do to juggle work and kids?
I think so. I've got different stages, if I'm completely honest. So before I was working from home and I was out in an office and things like that, and I also had a really ridiculously long drive to get to the office as well. me just trying to get the kids to out of school clubs, and they cost a fortune as well.
They do cost a fortune.
But then it's also finding the out of school clubs that understand neurodiverse children. That was an issue for us too. Them really understanding their quirks and their need for routine and their need for justice.
Yeah.
That always would create me a little bit of problems. So some of the ridiculous things was like trying to find the right out of school club and then getting the kids into that new routine. Since I've been working from home, it's the trying to balance taking them places as well and building that into the routine.
Yeah.
So because you also get that parent guilt, I definitely get mum guilt if I'm sat at home and they've got another day at home. So I would balance working from home and then going to Brymar's, which for those people that don't live around here is a ice cream parlour on a farm.
I didn't even know what that was.
Did you not?
Great. I'll have the link to that. Thank you very much.
It's near Massam, and they've got all the animals and things like that, but they have hundreds and hundreds of flavours of ice creams and everything. So I would plan that in towards the end of my day and just bung the kids in the car and drive over to Massam to take them to the ice cream thing, which is ridiculous. But again, because we have the whole autism thing going on, which I know that sounds like I'm downplaying it, I'm absolutely not. I had to make sure that the kids knew about it like days in advance that we were going to do it, and obviously then have to make sure it happens because
yes, of course.
If I haven't prepared them for it and then just went and did it, that would be
a mega meltdown.
It would be. Doesn't matter how amazing they would have and the ice cream that they'd have, it just wouldn't work. So I work with the kids on a lot of verbal kind of communication and making sure that they know when things are going to happen and also what they're going to eat and all of that type of stuff. If I don't do that and do those like now and next things, I'm not going to get work done or anything like that. It's having to think ahead, isn't it?
Yeah, we're very much like that. There's always got to be that preparation and planning and things. For me, the most ridiculous things that I've done is before the littlest one was born, when the boys were just the perfect age, when I've had like admin days, I would literally sit in a soft play and let them run around and do a load of work while they're doing the soft play. That was
my other... But I've done the same in the swimming pool, which again, ridiculous. Our swimming pool is ridiculously hot, and just sitting and doing my admin in there whilst they're having a swim and everything. Yeah. Again, mine are a little bit older, so they don't need me in there, but yeah.
Yeah, well now obviously my eldest is will be 13 in a couple of days, and my littlest is 3. It's very hard finding things for all of them to do. Yeah. So I'm not going to lie, I saw someone selling a really cheap, massive inflatable. I mean, it's huge. It's got a slide, it's got a pool, it's got a tortoise you can jump on, it's got those wiggly figures you can... And it was literally only about 150 quid with a fan because she'd used it. And I was like, so now that gets set up in the garden, I can see it from my office window, I know they're all safe, and that entertains them for hours.
Really?
Yes, and it's the best money I've ever spent.
Mine's a little bit cheaper. This week, because it's got the girls off their phones and everything, I've literally just sent them in the back garden with the hose pipe, and that's been it.
See, I've got boys, they are literally fighting at every opportunity they can. If it was any form of water, there'd be a fight.
No, they've just it's got my plants watered, to be fair. Perfect. But they have literally just sprayed each other down, and that's been them on an evening in there.
Perfect, absolutely. Well, we've given you some of our ideas. We would love to hear what you guys do, because honestly, I have no other thoughts. I don't know what to do. I'm not prepared. We are 5 weeks away, so please.
5 weeks away. My kids finish in 2 weeks. It panics me so much.
Okay, Claire needs some more from people who have older children.
I didn't realise, it was only when I was sat kind of doing prep for this last night that I suddenly went, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I've literally not thought about this.
See, I'm a real preparation person. I get this booked in quite far in advance where I can, because obviously my mother likes a holiday. Yeah. So I need to book her in for a couple of days because mine will not go to clubs. It's not happening. We've done the football club, the outdoor club, the cricket club, the kickboxing club, the art. There was a nature one with like archery, axe throwing, potion making. They make like nettle soup and stuff. They're done with that. And then obviously the littlest one is too small for a club because she's only 3. So literally it's just beg, borrow anyone I can to look after them.
Does she start school this year though?
No, she starts nursery.
Right, okay.
But yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's okay. So now we have to kind of think about this deeper. So why does school holidays hit so flaming hard? Why would you say it hits that badly?
I mean, I've already touched it. For me, it's that loss of structure. And
Yeah.
for the kids, that is the biggest impact for us. They lose the structure. They don't know what to do because they haven't got that structure, and their now and next is different.
Yeah.
It just completely knocks them off. And then as that parent, because for us that might mean increased meltdowns, increased fighting. For one of my children, it's increased eating, which then creates an issue on many different levels as well.
Yeah.
So because we've got that loss of structure, it leads to overwhelm really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, when I'm trying to keep the house running still, which my household just basically stops, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah.
It comes with a warning signal about whether to enter or not. So there's that. It impacts me and my sensory overload and my overwhelm. It has an impact. It literally has an impact on everything and how we run. And then amongst all of this, I'm still working and trying to offer the same, I suppose, customer
high
service
energy
and
customer
yeah,
service.
exactly.
Yeah.
That I would be offering elsewhere. So by the end of the day, I mean, I'd be exhausted anyway, but I am not functioning properly as an adult.
No, I feel like mine, I agree. Lots of structure. We can deal with it at the beginning.
Yeah.
But by the end of the holidays, it is
yeah.
constant fights, constant meltdown, because they're tired. ADHD, autism, all these neurodiversities, you still need your structure, you still need that set bedtime. So even though the kids aren't at school and they want to go to bed later, you still need to try and keep that fixed routine.
Exactly.
That's where it goes wrong. And for me, it's massively the sensory overload.
Yeah.
But that's my sensory overload.
And not even the kids in it, yeah?
Yeah, I'm used to just sitting and working and getting things done, but actually it's the constant interruptions. It's, I'm hungry, can we do this, can we have this, can we want this?
But it's like when they might want to cuddle or they like touch you. For me, it's too much as well.
Yeah.
And it does something to your body, and it sounds awful. And you and then it brings the parent guilt in as well
absolutely.
because
You say, give me 5 minutes, please.
yeah, because you've suddenly snapped or something and you don't mean to, but so then you've got this sensory overload, which then adds to the overwhelm on top of that.
Yeah.
And then the parent guilt adds an extra layer on top. And then the guilt that you're not quite functioning as you would do for work as well.
Yeah.
So you just end up, again, a bit of a mess by the end of it.
You do. And then you need that recovery time.
Yeah.
That's not possible when you've got the kids.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go for a walk. Well, obviously I can't leave them on their own. So
Yeah.
that can't happen. So I have to wait until there's someone else to watch them.
Yeah.
And then the minute I'm going to go for a walk, they're like, I'll come with you. I want to be with you.
Yeah.
And then instead of me doing my usual, like we've talked on every episode, putting my headphones on and just chilling,
Yeah.
it's Mum, what's that bird? Mum, what's that sound?
Exactly.
Mum, can we go for an ice cream?
Yeah.
And that just keeps adding and adding and adding. So realistically, the only recovery time is sleep.
Yeah. To be fair, quite often, I do go and nip upstairs by myself, shut the door when we're not in a heat wave, shut the door, and you're almost hiding because I can hear the kids looking for me, and I'm upstairs in my bedroom. They're fine. They're 14 and 17.
Yeah.
They're all right. They can cope without me for a little bit, but yeah, I do go and hide upstairs sometimes. And
Lovely.
just go and get out of the way. I have tried before. I made the mistake of once. So my girls will have been about 4-ish, and I went and hid in the toilet and locked the door, and I could hear them banging. They're like, "Mummy, mummy, the door's locked. I can't get in." And I was like, "It's fine. I'll be out in a couple of minutes." And she was like, "Oh, it's all right. I can open it from this side." And she got a coin, and I could see this the lock slowly turning the other way, and I just thought,
I've done
literally
that
don't have
before.
it anymore.
I can't even shut the bathroom door. I think a lot of
Yeah.
neurodivergent parents will agree with this.
Yeah.
I've shut it once to have a shower,
Yeah.
and my little one bummed the door, kept whacking it with a bum, and we have one of those slidey locks until it had actually slid back open. Amazing. Or if not, they've drawn me pictures and things and slid them under the door. Yeah. And I'm like, just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Exactly the same. So yeah, I don't bother locking anymore. They just walk
so
straight
now,
in still.
Yeah, I think realistically, isn't it, when you're a parent, especially neurodivergent, especially in the summer, it's shower when you're dead. That's one of the biggest ones. And I think even like with neurodiversity and the structure with children, actually trying to get them to shower, now it's just get the hose pipe out.
Yeah.
Or a bit of rain.
Yes. Yeah.
I think
and they love that as well, and they'll go out and play in the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's the experience, isn't it? We've got to kind of think about everything else that comes with this as well. So, time blindness.
Yes, absolutely. So, if we look at ADHD experience then, because what we thought was there will be general things as well that people will experience. Yeah. But I've kind of looked at ADHD, autism, and then ADHD as well, and what some of the challenges might be with that. So, challenge for ADHD, time blindness. We've spoken about that. We've got a podcast on time blindness as well. We know I am not brilliant at managing my time and sticking
You are
to
getting
routines.
better.
Oh, well, yeah, kind of, I think.
It's me rubbing off on you because do you know what? The opposite.
Yeah, well, that, but again, this comes to structure. I'm coming to you directly from dropping the kids off at school. If I'm coming to you from my house and not doing that, I'm not entirely sure I'd be here on time. So it's that structure and kind of building the what and next. Anyway, so we've got time blindness and for me this is definitely a problem in the summer holidays, especially because we've got a new structure that we need to put in place. I'm not brilliant at working out how long I need for different tasks and how long those things will take. Yeah. We've also got impulsivity,
which is my massive one.
I was just going to say, I think that's more you than me.
Yeah, absolutely. And my whole family is very impulsive as well. So it's literally, I'm just like, let's spend all our money, let's do this, let's do that. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, I am getting better. I'm starting to think about things and I'm like, actually, do we need to do this? Do we need to go and have that? And I'm starting to say no, maybe 1% of the time. So I am getting there.
Maybe 1% of the time. What about hyperfocus? Because you hyperfocus on a completely different level.
During the summer, I can't hyperfocus. It's broken too much. I know.
So is it just not?
Yeah,
it doesn't happen?
It's broken too much that I get angry. So I have to keep myself not going into hyperfocus. Right. Because then I can be like, just stop interrupting me, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to get the mum guilt. I also don't want to forget I've got my kids. Because I can go upstairs and start putting the clothes away and then think, I'm going to completely declutter this room. Yeah. That's not going to happen when I've got those three legging it around and screaming at me. Nerve wars is the big one at the minute, so...
Oh yeah, I know that one.
That is never going to allow me to hyper-focus in anything.
I moved out of that one, which I'm not going to lie, I'm quite pleased about. It hurts.
Yeah, that would be good. And also the lot of, I'll do it later trap. I get sucked into that a lot. Yeah. So that's where the structure, again, is going to come in, isn't it? A lot of it is always getting put off and put off. And I mean,
my I'll do it later is my housework.
Yeah. Whereas I actually will. I know if I sit down, I'm not going to get back up.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. It has to be literally done. And I think in this heat, you've got to get up and try and do it early, which still isn't happening because we're so exhausted from being hot all night. Yeah. It's just not really there, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So, to counterbalance that, we've got a couple of things, and again, this goes back to some of these you will have remember from past episodes. So we've done an episode on hyperfocus where we looked at some of these elements. So we've got timers. I use this an awful lot. Yeah. Especially with the kids as well. If I want them to focus on something particular, if I want me to focus on something, I'll set myself a timer to A, remind me to stop, but B, if it's something that is on there, I'll plan and do it later. That really helps me go, actually, I'm going to do it now and it's only going to take me this long.
Yeah. I also think with plan it later is if I'm thinking, I'll do it later, it's left my head and it's not coming back.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's a really good point. With me, and we've done it today when we're together, especially in the holidays, I will write myself a list. Yeah. A, it helps with ticking it off, but B, I'm really clear then the things that definitely need to happen on that day. Yeah. Otherwise, I I certainly get knocked off.
Yes. And another one that I've started doing is the snack stations. Now, you said this doesn't work for you, but for me, I am constantly interrupted because they want a snack, they want this, they want that. I've started, and I learned to do this last year. Lunch is prepped and it's in the fridge. Like, they can get the sandwiches out whenever they want. But I bought these little baskets and I fill it with, like, the amount of, like, say, crisps and unhealthy snacks they're allowed to have. And once that's gone. And they know that they need to start rationing their food. Fruit, I'm happy they can eat that all day long. Yogurts and things, I'm happy for them to take them out the fridge. But, like, the bits where they're like, can I have an ice cream? They're only allowed one. Can I have crisps? Can I have chocolate? Because they'll just sit and they'll just go through that pantry.
Yeah, you see, mine are a little bit older, but when I tried the snack station when they were younger, it was like a challenge for my eldest, and he had eaten everything by 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And with part of his autism diagnosis, it links very much to food and sensory elements of things.
Yeah.
So it was too much. So I've always got snacks and things like that in the house, and they still, even at 17 and 14, they'll still come and ask.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly overwhelming when you're trying to get on with work and different things. But actually, from the other side of things, it helps with the sensory side of things for us.
Yeah, it stops the overeating as well, doesn't it?
Exactly, and that is exactly what our issue is in our house. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's a little bit different. But then, when it comes to lunchtime and things like that, they are old enough to make their own food. Yeah. So they do make their own sandwiches and things like that, and they know exactly what they can do and where the food is to do it. But I'm very much at the point in my life that they're old enough to sort themselves out for lunch, and they know how to do it. Eldest has done home economics. It's not called that anymore for GCSE.
The FTT, isn't it?
Well, I don't know what it is, but he can do a 3-course meal. He can make his own lunch.
Oh, that's perfect. And then body doubling's still a good one, isn't it? It's a bit tricky, but it can be done in so many different ways. Yeah. So if you've got double kids, I actually get mine to do things together, and that seems to have their structure going. So they're still in charge of the dishwasher, sorting out bedrooms where they can do things. Or we can do things together, which also helps.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've got the podcast as well. I know we're keeping going back to past episodes, but we've got our body doubling podcast, and that is so helpful for where I'm wanting to do a particular thing. Body doubling. So there's our body doubling podcast, that's really helpful. The other thing that I do that helps me, so sometimes when I'm cooking tea and things like that, I might call my sister up, and it might irritate her, but actually it helps me kind of get things done, so I might call different people.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I've got to be in the right mood as an ADHD person. I like to ring people and chat, but if someone rings me, that phone is not getting answered. You will watch that phone vibrate off.
Oh, right, yeah, I wouldn't do that. And if my sister calls, I'll answer them. It's fine. But other people, I might, certain people I'll do that with.
So it's different though for autism, isn't it, massively? So we've gone through the ADHD ones. They're all things that would help me, but would they actually help someone with autism? Because this is you. Yeah,
absolutely. So for us, and again, this links back to some of my fails, I suppose. Some of the challenges that you have during the summer holidays, we've got noise, heat and crowds.
Yeah.
Like, horrific. If I'm completely honest, it's too much. It's sensory overload. So if you're going places, for me, I plan it in and try and look at the times that are going to be least crowded. You will not find me and my family at a theme park.
No.
Well, saying that, I've just bought the kids to go to Disneyland Paris, but so maybe, but we'll work out how we're going to do that, and we're going to work out all the other stuff. The other thing that I really struggle with, and the kids struggle with as well, is social expectations.
Yes.
So really understanding if we're meeting somebody, what to expect. And I mean, we're all very autistic sometimes in those situations, so you're not going to get, I don't know, the most, if you're meeting us for the first time.
Personality.
Yeah, exactly that. That's the best way of putting it.
Do you know what, though? It's that social battery again. Yeah. I used to hate saying no to people and would feel I'd have to give them a reason why it was a no. And now, actually, I've realised no is a full sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I'm just like, no, sorry, I can't do that. And even, I think my emails sound quite blunt, maybe. My messages and texts can sound quite blunt, but I don't need to give you a reason why I don't want to come round for a barbecue with 34 people that I've never met.
Exactly. Oh, that sounds like my worst night.
It is me. Someone's like, do you want to come round? I'm like, who's there? What are the timings?
Yeah.
What are my expectations?
Exactly.
And then I can plan in if I've got the battery enough for it.
Exactly. And then, again, we've talked about masking before, but for us at home, there may well be less masking.
Yeah.
For instance. So you're going to get a full-on version of all of us not masking. With that full-on version of us not masking at home, you're going to get all our quirks that are coming in there. So the little one-liner repeat songs that might be going on.
Oh, yes.
The different random movements that everyone's doing. So if someone was to come into our house, or even hear us, I worry about what other people think when they can hear us, because obviously we've got the windows open as well. But I've just kind of come to accepting that we're just going to be the odd house on the street.
I think once you've got kids, everyone's realises that this is how it goes. I keep seeing these reels at the minute going, if you hear me shouting at my children, it's because I asked them 7 times already. And I'm like, yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
It is. But then I suppose what you're also going to get is if we're out in social situations, the mask is coming on a little bit more as well. So it's just that unpredictability, I think, for us that really has an impact.
Yeah.
So I do try and make sure that we've got structure at home. It helps for me, it helps for the kids. And make sure that everybody knows what we're doing and when, which is mentally exhausting. And if we're going out for a day, I make sure we've got a day at home the next day.
Yeah, to recharge that social battery.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't want the emotional burnout, which is what is going to come. Like, you can't be doing things every single day. It's just not feasible.
Exactly. Some of the things then that help with me, we've got the predictable anchor. So we were talking about that before. I definitely have a predictable anchor. My how I start off the day every single day is with a latte, which sounds ridiculous. Doesn't matter what the weather is. That is my predictable anchor. But if that doesn't happen, I'm off kilter for the rest of the day, and it's something so small, but that will impact me. I won't be comfortable with things, and I don't know what that is about. And it's not the addiction to coffee. Mm-hmm. It's. Yeah,
could be.
That little bit of judgment there I felt. But anyway, the other thing as well that's really helpful, we have loads of sensory things in our house still. So that's either like fidget toys, or we've got like these plastic tubes that when you spin them around and things like that, they've got different coloured gel and things like that.
Oh, that's
Sit
really
the kids
good.
up in front of that. The other thing that I got, so one of the things for my son is, I don't know, it's to do with pressure, really. Can't really explain it. So anyway, we've got juggling balls, lots of juggling balls in a bin bag. And so...
Not until you hit him with the bin bag of them, that sounds
No,
good.
well, I was going to say he throws them as hard as he can, if I'm completely honest, because he just needs to get that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is out, but we've got those as well that we have there. And I think reducing that social load is really important. So being able to, as I've said before, you're going to be out for that busy day, so make sure you've got that downtime for everybody, because it helps for everybody as well.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? And then we've got to think about the people who are both, so your AU ADHD.
Yeah.
This is a really hard one, isn't it? Because they have the urge then to do absolutely everything.
Because it's the two kind of fighting together.
Yeah. That internal tug of war, that need to do everything.
Exactly. So you've got your autistic side where you've got that need for your saneness, and then you've got the ADHD side, which might be a little bit more impulsive.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's then going to cause that emotional dysregulation, isn't it? The overwhelm from competing demands, and that's where you're getting the most internal meltdowns, I suppose, sensory overload, because there's so many needs competing. The structure's gone. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, so I had a look at, and this is, I'm hoping it's straightforward, but 2-column planning. So what this should do is help reduce overwhelm, and it helps you externalise that internal conflict. So you'll get a piece of paper and create 2 columns, and in one column you're going to basically dump everything that your brain wants to do.
Yeah.
Don't judge yourself, no filtering, just examples. So it might be go to the beach, deep clean the house, start a new hobby, take the kids to a theme park. So this is your pure kind of, let's call it your ADHD energy. You're getting that all out. And then in column 2, what I want you to do is start to work through actually what's realistic.
Yes.
So is it 1 hour outside? Is it one load of laundry? Is it going to a park instead of a theme park? Is it a 10-minute tidy, not a deep clean?
Yeah.
And then from there, you can start to look at your lists and pick one thing from each column that can coexist.
Mm-hmm.
So if your ADHD wants to go out somewhere fun, the autism side might be able to handle that low sensory, that short, predictable pace things. So your solution might be going out at 9 a.m. before to a particular pace before it gets really busy.
Yes.
Or your ADHD side might, for example, want to reorganise the whole house. But the autism side can only handle that small bit of it. So your solution might be that you just tidy up one drawer, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just breaking it into things that are more manageable for you, more achievable for you.
Yeah.
Because then you don't get the guilt because you haven't done all the things that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like, what did we discuss last week? I wanted to paint my entire front room ready for this week. I painted half of it because I ran out of paint.
Yeah.
But at least I did the bits that I wanted to do. I did and I also wanted to recover all my chairs and things. Yeah. Did all that.
Yeah.
So taking those small steps and just saying, this is what I want in the big picture, but this is what's achievable for now.
Exactly. And then tag team parenting.
Mm-hmm.
I do this, or try to do this with my husband. Like, I've done X, Y, and Z. You're coming home at this point, so you need to do whatever. And then a little bit of tag teaming there. That helps as well.
Does it work, though?
As again, with his neurodiversity, only if he knows about it ahead of time.
It's going to be pre-planned in.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where it, for us, the schedule really helps in sitting down and going, right, we've got to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
How are we going to do that? If I surprise him with it, it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other thing that's really important is giving yourself permission to cancel, because you've got that. In moment, I really wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And then it actually comes to it, and you're a completely different person.
Yeah.
It's all right to turn around and say, it's not going to happen.
You do get that internal conflict, though, because you feel like, am I a flaky friend? Am I not good?
Yeah.
But as long as people are aware, you know, my friends, if they know I haven't got any battery, it's just going to be a no. Or if I say to them, when they ask me to do something, maybe, they know it's more than likely going to be a no.
Yeah. Yes. That's a really good way of doing it.
Yeah.
As soon as anyone gets a maybe from me, it's not going to happen.
No.
So, on top of that, we've also got trying to run a house.
Which is not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Again, there's the guilt of not being funny enough, or the pressure to perform work. So it's looking at being realistic and being kind to yourself. I always say this.
Yes.
You've got to go for your easy wins, and sometimes just let some things go, the things that you can let go.
Yeah, it's what do you drop first when things get too much.
Yeah.
In this house, when the kids are home, it's probably vacuuming, because I'll vacuum my sweep up in the morning, they'll then be in the garden, they've dragged in all of the grass from when the grass has been cut, they've got muddy feet from when they've been, say, have had the water on and they've been on the trampoline or the pool or something, and it's just dragged through the house. What's the point of me doing it in the morning, for them to destroy it on the afternoon, for me to then do it the next morning, for them to destroy it again?
You see, mine's the other way around, because we've got the dog. I will hoover and everything, and that will get done, but what probably won't get done is the dusting.
Mm. Yeah, to be honest, my 3-year-old likes the dust. She's the one who runs around with the duster.
I thought you were going to say she does drawings in it.
Oh, she does. She still does do all the drawings, but she likes the little. I can't describe what it is. You know, like a blind cleaner.
Yeah.
She likes to do the blinds and kind of run around with that. So I'm pretty okay with that.
I need someone to do my blinds.
I did debate buying. You can buy like a blind cleaner. It's almost like mop shoes, and everyone can wear them. And I was like, should I get all the kids just to wear these mop shoes just so they can clean
that
it?
Would be amazing.
Yeah, but can you imagine all the streaks everywhere? Mm. But there's lots of things. Before we digress down that route,
I was going to say. But we're going to come on to workplaces now as well. So what can workplaces do to help your neurodiverse colleagues? So first of all, where you can flexible hours, I think that's really important.
Yeah, really is.
And being able to know what that flexibility looks like as well.
Mm-hmm.
helps certainly my autistic brain, knowing what my boundaries are, otherwise that's going to create stress for me. So that's really helpful. Meeting free mornings.
Yeah.
Again, really, really helpful, because for me, the mornings and around lunchtime are probably the worst bit. I'm saying that it used to be, it's not anymore. My teenagers don't get out of bed until 11 o'clock.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite, actually. I'd rather have my meetings in the morning and then a free afternoon so I can do the admin, so I can dip in and out.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just scheduling things that work best for people.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And then we've got communication as well. So communicate in a way that doesn't mean that everybody has to respond at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're looking at removing the pressure to get an instant reply. Again, that creates a huge relief. So some of that is looking at, I suppose, how you're planning within work.
Yeah.
And looking at when the communication is going out. So you're removing that urgency, because there is enough pressure going on without making everything urgent and making everything a priority.
It might also be worth adding something, if you're allowed to, in the email signature, just to say it's the school holidays.
Yeah.
I will get back to you as soon as possible, but hours will be a little bit all over.
Yeah, absolutely that. I think the other stuff that for me is really helpful, using things like Teams or Slack, and because there's more flexibility in those things, and I can see the Teams messages. Whereas when you come back, your emails can be mammoth sometimes.
Yeah.
So something kind of has to drop. So it's having that inclusive communication, and really looking at what the adjustments can be put in place for that. Also, we say this before, really clear deadlines, so understanding when those deadlines need to be, and perhaps if we need a little bit of flexibility with those deadlines, again, understanding what those flexibility are, so we can negotiate on those. And then I think it's also understanding that when you've got, and this is for people that are neurotypical as well, that are parents, when you've got that added extra complexity of childcare that you wouldn't have when schools are in, you've got extra chaos going on.
You have. It's not a lack of professionalism, is it? It's the fact there's just so much going on in your, and you're never going to get these years back with your kids either, are you? So you don't want to miss them.
Exactly. And it's that things that frustrate me, and I know this sounds awful, but when people are like, oh, you must be having a nice time when you're off, actually I've had quite a stressful time when I'm off.
Yeah.
Because I've been managing all of those extra things. But you just kind of, it's that extra pressure of going, actually, this is what's happened, as opposed to being able to go, do you know what? I've had a really stressful period of time off. My kids haven't had the structure. There's been loads of arguments. There's been extra meltdowns. Actually, it's been quite stressful, and I've not had the best week off work.
Yeah. Well, you're not even off work. You're still working half the time.
Exactly.
But then if you do get a day off work, it's right. What do I need to clean? What do I need to batch cook? Where do we need to go? We need to go out somewhere. Make sure they've had some exposure to actual real life.
Yeah. Instead, ask what people could be asking, what they could do to make life easier for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to say, come round and clean my living room. I know that's not the case, but what is going to make life easier for me is those flexible deadlines, but knowing when you want things done.
Yes.
And that flexibility in communication. And also having a bit of flexibility about having cameras off as well. For me, having the camera off will help in that I just need some time. I'm completely there and I'm completely engaged, but I need some time just to bring myself around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and also you don't want your children running in because they've been on the paddling pool and things like that. And nobody wants to see that on the cameras, do they?
No, they really don't. And mine still have the paddling pools out as well, so they are in the back garden at the minute. So I think the takeaway from this, and hopefully you've stayed with us amongst our kind of ramblings whilst we've been going on, is that if you're struggling, it's not you, it's the season, it's the system, and it's the sensory load that we're all going to be taking.
It really is. And obviously it's just making sure that you do check in with each other, because sometimes you're so exhausted, but sometimes it's just nice to be able to rant to another person.
Yeah, exactly. And that could just be, I mean, we communicate an awful lot in memes, don't we?
Yeah.
And so it could be just that, and actually knowing that somebody else is thinking the same thing always helps.
Yeah, it's like that check-in saying, hope you're still alive, Or one me and my friend always do. I don't know if you remember the film Cool Runnings with the bobsled team from Jamaica or wherever it was, and the crash at the ending, it's like, yo Sanka, you dead? And that's what we always send to each other in the summer holidays, just to make sure that we're both still ticking over.
Yeah, exactly. So we hope that this episode helps you, and if it has helped you, please follow our Send It podcast.
Yeah.
Leave us a review or share it with someone who you might think needs it. It helps us reach more neurodivergent people who deserve better workplaces. So good luck out there.
Summer is absolutely a team sport that we all need to support each other with.
It is. See you next time.
Yeah, see you next time.
Podcast disclaimer. The views, thoughts and opinions expressed in this podcast belong solely to the hosts. We are not experts, specialists or professionals, and nothing we discuss should be taken as advice. Our conversations are based around our own experiences, ideas and perspectives. They are intended for general discussion and entertainment only. If you need guidance, support or advice, whether professional, personal, medical, legal, financial or otherwise, please seek help from a qualified professional. By listening to this podcast, you understand and agree that the hosts are not responsible for any actions you choose to take based on what you hear.